The US President Barack Obama says Osama bin Laden must have had a support network in Pakistan, which allowed him to live in the country before his capture last week. But a former senior member of Pakistan's intelligence agency has told this program, "We never knew where he was." He says that since the killing of bin Laden, America has been humiliating the Pakistani government and that this could spell trouble for future intelligence cooperation. Our Asia correspondent John Sparks sent this report from Islamabad.
Once a sleepy garrison town, Abbottabad has been thrust into the spotlight. Host to the world's most wanted man, the site of a secret raid by US Special Forces, now home to souvenir hunters looking for bits of a US helicopter that crashed in the raid. The attack on Osama bin Laden's compound was both a surprise and a success. The US military killed the al-Qaeda chief and took away what it calls a treasure trove of terrorist material, including these videos of Osama bin Laden. And the American government says it did it on its own. Having the Pakistanis on board would have jeopardized the mission, said the CIA. However, these comments have caused deep offense in Pakistan. The Americans may have got Osama bin Laden, but they've caused lasting damage in the war on terror. That's the view of the man who for years led the hunt for the al-Qaeda chief for Pakistani intelligence. He says trust has been shattered and thinks that intelligence officers on the ground will no longer cooperate with the Americans.
For the last 1 week, because of American statements, we all feel humiliated and, disgraced.
He says the Pakistani intelligence service, the ISI, and the CIA have worked closely here since 9/11, but he fears field officers will no longer work with the Americans.
These operations are conducted by a field operator on the ground. They would feel that they have been betrayed, and it would take some time. I don't think that these relations are going to be again like the way we had.
Mr. Munir said there was an informal agreement. US Special Forces could act alone on Osama bin Laden without telling the Pakistanis in advance.
There was an understanding which at high level that if he's found and there is actionable intelligence, so the American, they can react and they can use their force.
The Americans can go in immediately.
Just to, the time is not lost.
And the man who hunted Osama bin Laden said the ISI wasn't hiding him. He puts its failure to find the al-Qaeda chief down to human error.
Incompetence and inefficiency, nothing more.
So it was inefficiency, incompetence that meant that the security services didn't
I have
find
no
him.
doubt in it. Because I've been there, nobody has ever told me that, oh, okay, don't catch such and such person. I was the station chief, should have been informed. And we have got hold of 400 al-Qaeda people.
Is Pakistan guilty of harboring Osama bin Laden?
Well, at this point, I can tell you directly that I've not seen evidence that would tell us that the political, the military, or the intelligence leadership had foreknowledge of bin Laden.
Realizing that relations have been damaged, perhaps, the US National Security Advisor rode back from earlier White House statements today. The Americans killed Osama bin Laden in Abbottabad, but they still need the Pakistanis. It is they, for instance, who hold 3 of the al-Qaeda chief's wives and other members of his entourage. So far, the Pakistanis have denied access to US officials. John Sparks, Channel 4 News in Islamabad.
And for more on bin Laden and his discovery, go to our website, channel4.com/news.